Every country that should develop have to stand on 4 legs. Strong institutions that are stronger than you. This "do you know who I am" syndrome. If there are institutions stronger than you, no matter who you are subject to those institutions. There must be consequences for action or inaction. Responsive leadership, responsible followership.
So I get that, because people have picked to call out the government, man.
Oh,
They
yes.
want to do their own part.
If we are intentional about developing our country, we will do it. Everybody, if we are intentional that we want to build our country, and it starts from being responsible as an individual. Pay for lights. Some people will deliberately not pay,
Tap light.
not even tap light. They will come and cut the light. Then there's one egbon that will climb the pole in the night and join wire, and everybody in the community on that street. No, everybody on that street will donate 1-2 or 1-5 to the person. And early in the morning by 6 a.m., you disconnect it. That is not right. You know, good societies are not built that way.
I want to say congratulations on your doctorate.
Thank you.
And your doctorate was relating to the South African and the Nigerian relations.
Yes, both of them are quite cordial in certain areas, but they also have the areas of competition.
Yeah.
And the focus of my thesis was just to, explore the areas of competition, the areas of cooperation, and how they can use these two, because they are both relationships that you can never, eradicate. That competition will always be there.
I said, what exactly is the issue with South Africa?
Number one.
Hi, so I know you're enjoying this episode and you are rushing for me to just say what I want to say, and then you head over to the episode and just keep listening. But I realized that a number of you just watch our episodes and you don't subscribe, which does not help us as creators. Your subscription matter, your views matter, your likes matter, your comments matter, and then when you share to people, they help the algorithm recommend it to more people, which then helps us to reach a wider audience. So if you have watched this episode up onto this level, please leave a comment, share with as many people as you can, and it will really help us in creating more amazing episodes that will reach the world. This is the Sound Mind Podcast. Let's head back into the conversation. My mentor, how are you, sir?
I'm good.
Good to see you. First of all, I want to say congratulations on your doctorate.
Thank you.
And your doctorate was relating to the South African and the Nigerian relations.
Yeah.
Can you give me more context about it? So I know whether my question aligns what I want to ask you next.
Well, it's just a kind of relationship that exists between two strong African states.
Yes.
They have their unique areas of strength. They have their unique areas of hegemony as far as Africa is concerned, and even the world.
Yeah.
And because of this significant role that they occupy, or that they play in the continent, a lot of attention is given to both of them, especially for leadership, especially for direction, and for how the continent, or sub-Saharan Africa largely, is run. Yes. So they look at both of them for all those unique qualities. But because of the peculiarities that I just mentioned, there has been a number of various expressions of conflict that has existed between both of them. Yes, both of them are quite cordial in certain areas, but they also have the areas of competition.
Yeah.
And the focus of my thesis was just to, explore the areas of competition, the areas of cooperation, and how they can use these two, because they are both relationships that you can never, eradicate. That competition will always be there, and the cooperation will always be there. How can both of them use those two expressions of relationships to, develop Africa, and also project Africa to the world positively, rather than conflict, as the case may be.
But but when I saw that, I said I was going to ask you. I said, what exactly is the issue with South Africa? Some people say it's xenophobia. Some people say it's Nigerians come over to take over their jobs. Some people say the government are not favoring them, and there's so many things that are just going on in Nigeria. Nigerians are not happy.
Well, number one, Nigerians generally all over the world have a main character syndrome, but that's not the issue. The issue is that, the question you should ask is why.
Why?
Why is there aggression? There's a historical dimension to it. There's the social dimension to it. There's the economic dimension to it. And largely, after the apartheid,
Yes.
a lot of Nigerians settled down,
Yes.
moved into South Africa through so many platforms, one of which is the technical aid, technical aid schemes that existed at that particular time. And a lot of them, settled down, established themselves. And because Nigerians, to a very large extent, are hardworking, they go the extra mile to do certain things, they somehow may earn more. And as a result, indigenous South Africans may feel threatened. And as a result of that, there is this animosity that exists, between Nigerians and South Africans. And somehow, there's this imbalance in terms of their relationship because, one, Nigerians are aggressive in terms of, not aggressive in terms of anger, but in terms of pursuing their dreams. Although we have the very good ones, and we have also seen cases of, misbehavior by some Nigerians, but that is not necessarily the central focus.
Yes.
The central focus is that some South Africans feel threatened by the fact that Nigerians are very vocal, Nigerians are very aggressive at their jobs. Nigerians even marry South Africans, and there's this myth that Nigerians treat their women better.
Oh, better.
Yeah. So, there's no how you see such a thing and you feel very comfortable. It has happened right from. There's no how you feel if you see your visitors or your settlers doing extremely well around you. Sometimes there's every tendency to feel threatened, and you can just tell them to start going. Everybody just go, and the way you tell them to go is also dependent on how you tell them to go.
Yeah, but now people are now relating it.
So most of those go are quite violent, and that is what makes it look very, very xenophobic.
But most of people are now saying that Nigerians are getting what we did to them in the time of Shagari, when
Nigerians are doing what?
We're getting what we did to Ghana.
So
it's about getting our own thing.
Our own fair share, yeah. I mean, it's way deeper than all this.
Yes.
But then, when your host feels threatened, definitely they will tell you to go. Even if you imagine you are accommodated a squatter, right?
Yes.
The person first came in as a humble squatter, and suddenly he buys his own TV and puts it beside your own. Maybe your own TV is 25 inches, his own is 85 inches. Your own TV now look like laptop screen. It's playing music, it's making it quite loud. Even if it is not loud, it's playing music in your ears, it is loud.
Yes.
He suddenly has a girlfriend, he brings her in, and then tells you to please excuse us in your house. Somehow you feel threatened, or somehow you not feel comfortable, and somehow you tell him that you can change the lock of your door. You say that the door is not working, so you change the lock and you do not drop the key. That's the first way to tell the person to go. So that is how over the years it has continued to grow. But I think there's a disconnection with history here, because Nigerians were very good to South Africans during the apartheid regime. Nigeria gave almost everything to South Africa during the apartheid regime, despite geopolitical proximity that was not even very favorable. Nigeria is far away from South Africa. Nigeria was a frontline state during the apartheid regime. Nigerian students at that time dropped their pocket money, for South Africans so that they could survive. Some South Africans were given Nigerian passports so that they could travel. Yes.
Wow.
Oh yes. So Nigeria gave a lot during the apartheid regime, but we're expecting that dimension of reciprocity. In terms of acceptance, in terms of love, in terms of sharing the same energy. But unfortunately, that's not the case. But then Nigeria We'll be fine. I mean,
It will be fine. There'll be a new place to go.
uh-huh.
Yes. Okay. Wait, I want to ask, why did you choose that topic, or was it given to you?
Was it given to me? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. I just chose that topic because I felt I just wanted to
Very
explore.
unique.
I just wanted to explore. There are a lot of works on
Yes.
Nigeria, South Africa, and I just wanted to explore it, especially to understand why these two states are perpetually at loggerheads, and what can be done to. As the issue is that cooperation and competition are happening at the same time, simultaneously.
Yes.
Simultaneously, there are so many successful South African businesses in Nigeria.
Of course.
There are a few Nigerian businesses in South Africa. Everybody's happy, but despite that mutuality,
Yes.
there is still some animosity. And so I was trying to explore why and how they can, explore these to develop Africa.
That's amazing. I love it, and it was very unique because it's rare. Most people just do flat research topics and just.
At PhD, I don't think any research topic can be flat.
Are you sure?
Yes, there's a lot of rigor attached to it. You have to get your methodology right.
There's some people that buy doctorate.
Well, okay. Noted.
Yeah, but on a serious note, I remember because I heard a lot of things about these old Japa things. Somebody was saying that, if you want a doctorate, that they can give it to you from one particular state in Nigeria.
I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, if you want to get the doctorate degree by yourself, you apply. Go through the process. If you have to do coursework, do it. If you have to do book presentations or book reviews, do it. If you have to do seminar presentations, do them. If you have to do a publication, a peer-reviewed publication, please do it. Relate with your supervisor. Go through the journey. It's always a very long. It could be quite long.
Did you fly to SA?
I didn't have to. I didn't have to. Thank God for technology. Everybody I needed to interview, I was able to interview them. And some of them, were not in South Africa at that time. They were in other parts of the world. And I was able to interview them virtually. And I was able to garner sufficient data to, explore my work.
Research work, amazing. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Yeah, but I know you like to talk about politics at all, but I've sat down with you, I've spoken privately, politics and all, and I feel like we have a lot of intelligent minds like you, that know so much about. When I said this episode was going to be around national development and not just comedy, not just entertainment and all, national development, and because youths now want to get involved in this thing, and from because you, of course, first class undergraduate level, first class master's level, it means that you've read.
I didn't have a first class in masters. I didn't have a first class in masters. First class BSc.
Okay.
I didn't have a first class in masters.
Okay.
And I have a PhD.
Oh, a PhD.
Yes.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay. But with that, looking at Nigeria with so much potential.
Yeah.
In entertainment, we are scaling high. Human capital, we are doing so well.
Absolutely.
When we go to other countries, Nigerians thrive in the medical field. Many of them are doing so well. But then it comes back to our home country and then we still have some struggle. So I started to wonder, I started to diagnose. I said, what is our problem? Is it our population? China is populated. Is it innovation? What exactly is the issue in your view?
So in my own view, every country that should develop, in my own opinion, have to stand on 4 legs. Number 1, strong institutions. Institutions that are stronger than individuals. Yeah. Institutions that are stronger than whoever you think you are.
Yes.
This do you know who I am syndrome. If there are institutions stronger than you, no matter who you are subject to those institutions. Yes. You are subject to them. And when you know that these institutions are bigger than you, when the institutions have their rules and you flout them, there are consequences. And that's the second leg. There must be consequences for actions or inactions. There should be consequences. People will say, I will slap you and nothing will happen. It's because there are no consequences. And so, when you have a lawless society, when you have any society that the institutions are weak, the laws are not binding, there is what in politics we call a pseudo state of nature, where where everybody is just on autopilot. There are no consequences.
Yes.
You know. The third leg is responsive leadership. By responsive leadership, I mean leadership that is quick to respond, that shows empathy,
Yes.
that is people-oriented. You know, leadership that is proactive, not reactive. Proactive in the sense that you see a potential problem coming and you fix it before the problem comes. You know, leadership that is intentional about the next generation. And how are you intentional about the next generation? Education. Education. It's not everybody that needs to go to the university.
Yes.
There are technical schools that can be free.
Yes.
You know, if you have a skill, you are made because somebody will need your service. You know. So it's not everybody that needs to go to a university. But to have a skill that you learned from somewhere,
Yes.
you know, and the government needs to make it happen, you know. So when we have responsive leadership, and then the final leg, responsible followership. Yeah.
So I get that because people have quick to call out the government, but
Oh,
they don't
yes.
want to do their own part.
We have our duties in the Constitution. Every individual has a duty, you know.
Besides voting.
Besides voting, I mean, not throwing trash on the floor is part of my duties.
Thank you, sir.
You know, not being intentional about not throwing trash on the floor. It's part of my duties. Because it has its multiplier effect eventually. I drop mine, you drop yours. Everybody, 1,000 people drop trash on the floor. Rain falls in the process.
Yes.
Packs everything into one place and blocks the drainage. Yes. Immediately, there's flood. By the time there's flood, everybody is affected.
They start calling people.
And then you call leadership out. Leadership also has a role to play.
Yes.
You understand?
That's responsive.
And that is responsiveness. So when people have faith in a responsive leadership, I believe that, you know, being responsible as followers will be easier. Do you understand? But then, being responsible also means being patriotic. You know, carry your country on your head. It may be heavy sometimes, especially when it is not working. But let the world know that you are from a prestigious place. Because to be sincere, the way we project our countries, they will be treated outside. Yes. For some of us that have traveled to different parts of the world, I've boarded a taxi and then the taxi man is asking me questions like, I heard Nigeria is in a yes, we have our challenges, but then I had to calm him down that it's not like the country has it's not like, because the guy created an impression that based on what he's seen, that everybody's hiding under, you know.
Yes.
So I had to calm him down that yes, we have our challenges, but it's not like it's not like, you understand? And it's the way we project our country. Yes, we have our challenges, and I'm emphasizing that we have our challenges. But then how we project it to the world will largely determine how we are perceived. So part of how to build a nation, you know, is responsible followership. Responsive leaders. Let leaders project the country. Let leaders make it easy for followers to be proud of their country. You know, yes. when leaders make it easy for followers to be proud of their country, then you discover that all these things will just work naturally. Leaders are responsive, followers are responsible, and everybody is happy. So that is the way nations generally are built, not necessarily Nigeria alone. It can be anywhere in the world.
Yeah, but many people, like political analysts, like the issue of Nigeria is ethnicity. There were two, because of our ethnic cultures, different people have different values, different people have different stuff. Do you really think that our ethnicity is an issue?
We are not the only ethnically diverse country in the world. You know, there are different parts of the world that have their own expressions of diversity. Yeah. I mean, well, in my own opinion, you know, our diversity is supposed to be an area of strength. You know, our diversity is supposed to be a major strength. Yes. when within one single entity you have so many ethnic nationalities, you have so many different expressions of culture, you have so many to marry. The culture to marry in a particular part of Nigeria is totally different from marriage in another part of Nigeria. So when you see those two tribes coming together and displaying their different expressions of culture, it's beautiful to see. So if we live in the consciousness that those things that bind us together are stronger than the ones that divide us, I believe as a country would develop more. We would develop better. We would project our country to the world better. There's a part of Nigeria where you lie down on the floor to greet an elderly person. There's a part of Nigeria where you squat to greet an elderly person. When you see this diversity as you continue to travel, it is beautiful to see.
It, yes. So we're magnifying our problems while ignoring the beauty that binds us together.
Well, if you say so, but then the same energy that we are using to call out our problems, which exist, is the same energy that we should also use to, project the beauty of our country to the world. Let people hear about Nigeria and they are excited when they see Nigerians. For example, I was in one particular country one year. Immediately the taxi guy noticed that I'm Nigerian. Immediately started playing Burna Boy.
You know Bonner?
And I was very happy, far away from Nigeria. And I was very happy. And then he felt if he was famsing me because I'm Nigerian and he's playing Burna Boy. He was happy to play it. And as he was playing it, he saw I was vibing to it, and then he was looking at me through his, and it was, these are things that we should project to the world. Nigerians are doing very well all over the world.
That's it.
All over the world.
Everywhere.
All over the world. And you see brilliant minds. You see people doing well in politics all over the world. You see people doing well in government, in medicine, in engineering, in tech.
Yes.
It's mind blowing. So, as we are projecting our challenges, let's also project the great values that we have, our culture, through our posts, through our music, through our movies, through our outfits, through the way we relate with the world. I mean, there are so many positive things that we can project to the world about our country.
When I was growing up, they used to tell me that, especially me as a young person, like, Jaye, that during our time, Nigeria used to be better. They always recycle that, and I always used to feel bad. Nigeria used to be better during our days. We used to have fun. I think my dad told me one time that he bought a car, 3,000 naira. I mean, dollar and naira were, 3,000 naira. But Nigeria was fun. There's also another school of thought. Some of my Gen Zs are even saying in my age groups are saying that military rule is better than the civilian rule and all of that. But I'm confused. I cease to agree, because when I look at some of the metrics, the data, I'm like, no. If I was living in this time, I won't be excited. But they just assume that because living was okay.
The reality is that since I was a child till today, the same challenges that they've been screaming of then are still the same challenges that I hear till now. So I was not born into that generation that you are talking about. Yes. I've always heard, and in fact, I've seen videos of years before I was born where people were talking about the various challenges of the nation. There's no country in the world that does not have its own flavor of challenges.
Yes.
Do you understand? There's no country in the world that does not have its own flavor of challenges. But then, the world is also evolving.
So, yes. So they say Nigeria is better than it was now. My grandma would always tell me that even when she could go to America, that they didn't need a ticket, they'll fly to America. My grandma went to the UK by ship with her husband for honeymoon. And when she finished from university, the job was already waiting for her as an accountant. Free healthcare, free medical. She gave birth to 6 of her kids, at least or no cost. And then I now begin to wonder what exactly is going on.
So there has been, in my opinion, or based on what I've seen, what I know, what I've read, we have had a sharp decline in terms of how things used to be. Leadership, successive leadership over the years. It did not start today. You understand? It was a gradual process where institutions started getting weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. And then there were little or no consequences. And then leadership did not find the need to be responsive, and followership got tired of being responsible, And eventually, That's how we have found ourselves here. But then I believe that if we are intentional about developing our country, we will do it. If we are deliberate, leadership, followership, everybody, if we are intentional that we want to build our country, we will do it. And it starts from being responsible as an individual. Pay for light. Right?
Yes.
Some people will deliberately not pay.
Tap light.
Not even tap light. They will come and cut the light. Then there's one egbon that will climb the pole in the night and join wire, and everybody in the community on that street. No, everybody on that street will donate 1, 2 or 1, 5 to the person. And early in the morning by 6 a.m., he will disconnect it again. That is not right.
It's all right.
You know.
Yes.
Good societies are not built that way. You know. Or I won't look left and right in the midnight, park my car, bring out my trash and put it at the center of the road. It's not right. You know, it's not right.
Yes.
You know, so as individuals and even as and also in terms of leadership, there should be empathy. They should, you know. I mean, it's just a collective thing.
Yes.
And eventually we'll see development, I'm very sure.
Okay, I'm running away from politics now.
Please do.
All right, but okay, no worry. I'll ask that one at the ending. But it's about voting, you know, in terms of how important it is to exercise your voting. Well, I see you work a lot. Your career has blossomed over the years. It's gone. I remember when I first sent you a DM in 2017. You know, I'd watched you on Lagos Laughs. You had this joke about children, Shenuidun. This man is hilarious and all. And then you've been consistent. How are you able to maintain your own style in the midst of your noise and not just compromising and joining the bandwagon?
Well, I think...
Hi, I know you're enjoying this episode right now and you really want to just keep, you know, but I just want you to take some time and just pause. Have you paused? Okay, now move over to the comments. Drop a comment, even if it's fire emoji, drop a comment. We put in a lot of hard work. Okay, right about that. Oh yeah, scroll back up. Leave a like. Yes. In case your hand touched the dislike, put it on the like. Thank you. Now, click the link on your tab, wherever you're listening to it. Just click it and share with someone. This will help our video reach a wider audience and we'll just keep creating more and more amazing episodes of the Sound Mind podcast. Let's head back into the conversation.
It is, everything is centered around intentionality, as far as I'm concerned. You have to be intentional about everything. Intentional about how you are perceived, intentional about the quality of services that you give, intentional about how you carry yourself, intentional about everything. You know, you have to be deliberate. Mentorship helped me. You know, my mentor circle helped. You know, but then I was able to also define the character that I project in terms of not being loud unnecessarily, in terms of doing jokes that are family oriented and relatable, you know, not making anybody in the hall feel uncomfortable. You know, those are the values that have shaped the character of my output over the years. And I've been very intentional about it. For those that have known me for years, you know that the same way I've been doing my thing is the same way I've continued to do it. I honor people, I respect people, and it's part of who I am and how I've been able to build whatever I'm building.
You see, that's what has helped you.
Those are part of the things that helped me, and most importantly, God. You know, that is my source of help and inspiration. I run to God all the time for everything. Yeah.
At some point, did you ever have any? I mean, you have been a scholar. You know, you've already had badges on your chest. So at some point, did you ever feel like, if this thing doesn't work out, I'll just go back to my lecturing? Because of course, you were lecturing before you.
No, I was anchoring events. I was doing comedy before I started lecturing.
Are you serious?
Oh yes.
Oh wow.
Yes, I started doing comedy officially 2012 when I graduated from the university. But then lecturing came 2015, and by 2012 I had built some reputation. Not necessarily, it wasn't built, but at least I was building something that people were noticing. But then 2015 came and lecturing came and I picked it up. I started lecturing. And at a point, when I felt I was tired of it, or when I felt I needed to step out of the classroom for a while, I stepped out in 2021 or so. But why I've been doing everything together since then. So I've been out of lecturing for since 2021, and I just faced my PhD and anchoring, and that's where we are today.
You also have a very strong work ethic, because I know that of course you have talent, you're very funny, you're intelligent, but your work ethic sometimes used to even make me afraid and have anxiety. Some ways I'm not saying, bros will not break down. Sometimes I'll text Moses, I'm like, this guy's going too fast. I can see you at one event today, tomorrow you're at another event, especially in December's. You'll be in traffic before you sleep, before you know it, you're heading to the airport again to Abuja. So how do you manage yourself? I know there was a time I even asked you, I said, sir, have you ever fallen sick that on the day of the event, you said maybe just once and you still performed? So how are you able to do it? Where is the soap?
Well, it's gone actually, but I just believe in showing up. Just stand up, show up, and do your job. There are days I do 3 events. There are days I do 2, and the following day I do another 2. The following day I do another 2. The following day I do. Yes,
and you fly to the airport.
Oh yes,
you go Abuja
back, and I'm back to do stuff. Yeah, I mean that is the idea. That is the idea behind the work. You if you are intentional about building something sustainable, something big, something worthy of celebration, I mean, you should be able to. You should be willing to work hard. There's no reason for lackadaisicality when it comes to work.
But at the same time, this our work. You have to please people. A lot of people can come and be whispering in your ear, say this one, honor this person. And there's so much of management, people management. A lot of creatives like me and Mike, they don't really know how to handle it. They just feel tension, or sometimes they say mental health is too much for them. How are you able to do that?
Well, a major aspect of anchoring events is diplomacy, your ability to make everybody feel good at the same time while you are achieving your result. That's why I defined being a master of ceremonies as your ability to manage people and situations. You understand? Where people are talking into your ears at the same time. I want to talk now. It is time for me I want to speak, and your name is not on the list. But then you're managing the person's emotion. And don't worry, I'm going to do everything possible to make sure that you talk. But just be patient. Let's quickly have music for a few minutes. I'll be right back. And then use that one to escape, to catch your breath, discuss with the host. Sir, this person wants to talk. No, I don't want him to talk. All right. And then you go back to the microphone. Ladies and gentlemen, I understand the fact that a number of us would like to say something to the celebrant. But please, because of time, we are going to have a bit of this and this and that and that. But if you are unable to speak as we continue, you may just quickly go to him privately to tell him how you feel, and he's going to appreciate it with him. Thank you so much. And then you just, move on as if nothing happened. So it's about managing people, it's about money, and it's a skill that you acquire over time. You understand? It's a skill that you acquire over time. And you also need to build character. If you don't have character, it will not work. You understand? Your skill can take you very far. But the character that you project, the way people perceive you to be a responsible gentleman, will take you, will keep you there.
Yeah. So I see you prostrating, greeting people. Then you see kings, you honor them.
Oh yeah. It's me.
Even senior band leaders.
Senior band leaders.
Like band people that are.
It's yes. Beyond the job.
Yes.
That's my nature. I mean, I see value in honoring people. I feel very happy when I celebrate people, and it has no intention attached, nothing. I just do it because I respect and honor people naturally, and that is how I've been able to, navigate this over the.
But have you had a bad day on stage? I've not seen you. The times I used to follow you out, I've not seen you have a bad day on stage, even in comedy. There are days you'll be like, man, I didn't really feel it. But me, I knew that if you give me that one, I go post them. Yeah, but have you ever had like a bad day on stage? It
depends on what you call bad day. What do you mean by bad day?
Maybe a client is scolding you.
I try to avoid that. We're in a situation where, you see, this job is not a joke. You understand?
Wow, that's very.
You need to know. You need to understand emotional intelligence. You need to know how to guard your emotions as much as possible. You know, I was at an event some time ago, and then as I was talking, the host just came to meet me. Go straight to the point. Keep quiet and go straight to the point. All right, can we have the opening prayer? Thank you. And I went straight to the point, and I became very official. I followed that script. You know, I mean, normally I will follow your script, but then when you now shouted to the public, oh, I should go straight to the point. I know how to go straight to the point. Can we have the opening prayer? The person came to. Can we have music? The person came. Nothing extra. You know, and I mean, she was happy, and everybody was happy.
That was what she wanted.
That's what she wanted. Yeah. So, bad days. Yeah, there's no how you
microphone, bad microphone.
But you can have bad microphone. There's some microphone that will be shocking your lip. You know, especially when you do those ones that have wire. You know,
there's sometimes that the bad will tell you that the microphone is not yours.
So you have to just learn how to manage people. That's the most important thing. When you want to work with a band that you're not familiar with, you know, especially all those bands that they're very plenty with orange and color that you see like 84 backup. The first thing you need to do is to go and first prostrate for the band leader, Egbon, Ekushesa. We are here together today, and my intention is to allow you make money. So don't worry, I'm not going to talk too much. I need you because people want to hear you.
Yes.
Massage is ego. I say, but I'm a funny mic, so that you know. But immediately you get there and you are pompous. Oh, you are the band. How are you? Okay, I need a mic now. Baba, they will give you. They will give you just that the mic is going to be standing from the back. You know, and you know. Yeah. So you have to learn the art of diplomacy. In terms of relating with other vendors, relating with your client, relating with guests, and trying to just make everybody feel good. Yes. You know, it just gives them this
comfort. Yeah. Are there people you still learn from, or things you do for personal development, like to just better improve yourself? Because it's possible to just plateau and say, I do this thing now.
What do I know? No. Yeah, I learn from a lot of people. I have people that I learn from a distance. I have people I learn from at close range. I have people that are aware that I learn from them. You know.
Do you learn from young people?
I learn from younger people. A lot. I saw everybody that walks around me is younger than me. Or most people that walk around me, they are way younger than myself. And I try to learn from them. I try to see the world from their point of view. I try to understand how they do their own unique approaches to how the thing is done now. You know, especially when I'm relating with younger people. You know, today I'm a very good hype. I'm a relatively good hype man. Why? Because I have younger people around me that time. You know, and I had to intentionally learn it. You know, so that I'm an all-rounder. You understand? Yes. Somehow, I know how to do videos. I may not be very good at it, but I'm learning it. You know, I'm doing better videos, taking better pictures. You know, what are the things that are appealing to the younger generation? I have to learn them through younger people. Yes. You know, now if you are dealing with Gen Zs, you have to learn how to do what now? How to clock it. I was saying clock it at an event. And I saw one Egbon doing like this. I said, Egbon, it's not like this. It's just 2 fingers.
That one is munch it.
That one is munch it. It's not munch it. It's clock. So I mean, it's like that. I learn from a lot of people, and I learn different things from different people.
Yeah, amazing. I know that you do Damola Adegboye Foundation.
Oh yes.
Yes, an initiative where you go out to school to reach out and all. How has it been of late?
Yes, last year we had an edition. I may not do this year because of my show, but then last year we went to a secondary school. Is there a secondary school? Yes, a secondary school at Ikeja. And we gave bags and books out. Bags, books, some stationery out to some.
What was the idea behind it? I know a lot of people do foundations initiatives.
So the idea behind it is to celebrate students in remote areas that nobody sees or claps for.
Remote areas?
Or not necessarily remote areas.
Okay.
Some public schools, you know, where you're just doing well in school, nobody sees you, nobody claps for you. Wow. You know, in private schools, you have award prize giving day, best in English, best in. But in public schools, I don't know if those things exist. And some people are under very, very uncomfortable circumstances, are working so hard, you know, to succeed in secondary schools that are public. So the initiative is to go there, to identify such students and to publicly celebrate them, so that people can know, so that they can know that they are seen, they are heard, and their efforts are acknowledged. So that is the idea behind the initiative that I run. It's been on since 2016. I mean, I started in one remote school in Osun State, and then over the years we've tried to develop and make it look better, and that is where we are.
Amazing. And you also did from the little I know.
From the little I know.
You have been stabbing us. You know.
I'm actually going to do another edition this year, maybe after my show. From the little I know is an initiative where I share from the little that I've garnered over the years with younger masters of ceremonies, younger not necessarily by age, but by the years on the job, And I mean, the last one I did, I really liked it, and I liked the outcome. It was very good. Sharing, and then I was not the only one that spoke. We had other speakers, Ayomairo Ese, Mujiba Desho Sanyati, Dayo Eyes, Ajele, Larry J. These are very experienced people that know the craft, they understand it, and they've been able to carve their own various expressions of approach to the job, and this year we may do another one, but then we are still watching.
That reminds me of a question that I said I was going to ask. One of my colleagues was asking me and saying that, man, it's not easy to really, especially when you are co-hosting with somebody.
Okay.
How are you able to not take the shine?
Yes.
It's not very easy. Especially, I'm not saying, okay, let me not say gender, but when you have a co-host and then you are maybe the experienced one, and then the co-host might not be.
Okay.
Somehow they found their way there.
Okay.
How do you balance in such a way where you don't take the shine from the other person?
So first, you have to make that person feel comfortable. Right? You have to make that person feel very comfortable. You have to make them know that we are working together. You also have to make them know that. You also have to make them feel very relaxed and, as I said, comfortable. Then, when you start off, you give the person the opportunity to speak. You understand? Yes. So that everybody can hear the person clearly. Now, if you notice that there's going to be a challenge, you may, after the first introduction, you can decide to share responsibilities.
Yes.
I'll handle this, you handle this and this and this. You understand?
Yes.
Especially if the person is not willing to learn and it's going to be a challenge to you. So that the person handles his own aspects and it is clear that the person is not willing to work, is not willing to cooperate. You understand? But if the person is willing to cooperate with you, and the person is also willing to, flow at your pace, you can allow the person to introduce an item and then you buttress the item by adding a lot of color to make it look better, And then, but then it's easy to work with people. I believe that. I personally can work with anybody.
So my friend Gloria, you know Gloria?
Oh yes.
Yeah. So she had one big event at the hotel. I think it was Port. Then so she called me and she was like scared and telling me that because she was working with one of our senior guys, Richmond Osuji. So she was now like, oh my gosh, she's having like an imposter syndrome. That Richmond does not even know her and all of that. And she said that Richmond actually treated her so nice.
That is the value. You see, there are some people, Richmond Osuji and so many other people, they understand the beauty of collaboration. You understand? They'll push you to.
Yes.
If you work with me, for example, as a co-host, I won't. It's not. Yes, both of us will shine, but I'm not trying to be the star boy of the day. You understand? I want both of us to shine, so I allow you to have your space, and I can say this authoritatively. You understand? Maybe in the past I might not have been very excellent at it, but as I speak with you, as I've grown over the years, if you want to work, if you work with me, you will enjoy yourself.
Yes.
Especially if you are not the type that feels like working, that you have a lot of you talk. I'll just be supplying my own flavor. I'll just be supplying my own, unique approach to it.
I just remember one energetic event that you put me on for MFM.
It was a good one, and I'm very sure you enjoyed it.
It was lovely.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, so we're wrapping up. So we're going to go back to politics.
Yeah.
So if you were president for a day, or for 4 years, okay, let's say a day, what would be the first thing you would do?
Unfortunately, I've not thought about that before because being president requires intentionality.
Are you being serious?
I'm very serious. I'm not avoiding the question. If you tell me that, what should I do now?
Yes.
Sincerely, before you become president of a country, you must have thought about it very, very well, especially in a country like Nigeria that is extremely diverse, extremely plural in its polity, extremely, extremely extreme in terms of its diversity.
Yes.
You have to think well before you say you want to become president of Nigeria. But then, if you put me on the spot, if I'm president of a country, not necessarily Nigeria. Okay, let's stay Nigeria based on the challenges I've seen. First, I'm going to strengthen the institutions.
Like what institution? When you say institutions?
Institutions. The judiciary has to be strong. The legislature. There should be independent coexistence.
Yes.
Everybody, we are working together, but we can work independently. You understand? ESCC should be strong and independent. ICPC should be strong and independent. INEC should be strong. Those are institutions. NAFDAC.
And all of them have independence in their name.
You understand?
Yes.
They should be strong and
yes.
That's what I'm going to do. Strong institutions.
Yes.
Then there should be, as I've said, going back to what I said originally, adequate consequences for actions.
Yes. This thing Olushola Olale said it on my podcast. Punishment for bad behavior.
Baba.
Heighten it.
Heighten it. Let people know that if you go to some Asian countries, you can't behave anyhow because there are consequences.
Yes.
You can't. There is an agreed unwritten code that if you do like this, you will see like this. You understand? Immediately, that's when you see that people will comport themselves. Yes. You won't see people dropping trash on the road. You won't see people parking at this. You see people willfully taking one way. By themselves, they will just enter it. You know?
Yes.
When there are consequences. I mean, and in Nigeria, there are consequences there, but then it can be better. Then, as president, I'll be responsive. Responsive to economic realities, responsive to security concerns, responsive about education, responsive and proactive about all these things. You understand? Then we also sell the need for responsible.
You're not going to appoint like strong hands.
Strong hands, absolutely. All these things cannot be done in isolation. I mean, you have to appoint strong hands, and it has to have a national feel. You understand? An ethnic nationality should not dominate anything. It should be diverse because there are multi-talented Nigerians all over the country in terms of economy, in terms of governance, in terms of tech, in terms of commerce, in terms of industry, in terms of business, in terms of education. They are multi-talented across the country. You know. So, I mean.
Okay.
So I will appoint good hands, but they are going to, so that everybody is carried along. Everybody's happy.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Before I talk about your, no, let me leave it. I'll leave it for another time. We'll talk about our privately. Is there are state police boards? Nah. All right. Yes, your show is happening. So I'm with my younger guys, the younger colleagues. So there's something that he said.
Yes.
I didn't have any answer for them. What's my business? He said something about why did Damola go to a hotel? Why did you choose to use a hotel?
Choice. That's the reason. I can use anywhere. I can use anywhere. It's my choice. I mean, I chose to use terraculture the last time.
Yes.
I can choose to use the church the next time. I can choose to use the field of a primary school the next time. And I can choose to use I've chosen to use the hotel now. Not caring the outcomes. And I know it will be done. Not caring the outcomes. Trust me. I'm not doing. Yes, I believe that I'm going to have a sold out show.
Definitely.
I believe so. What if it is not sold out? You understand? It's my choice. But then, it's my choice. And I want people to have a good time.
Yes.
I want to explore that side of me, of doing something that I have always imagined doing. You understand? Choice. Yeah. Trust me. There's no reason. Choice. And there is no timetable for anybody to do anything.
True. So some people just believe that once everybody is doing a hotel, maybe automatically that's why.
Mind you, not everybody. I don't do things because people are doing it.
True, because
I did it because I felt it was time to do it. You understand? And I did it there because I felt that was the venue that came to my mind and I felt like using. You understand? I mean, I could have used the Mousson, I could have used the Lion Francais, I could have used any other place. But then I chose a hotel, and I want people to come to a hotel to have a good time, have a good show, enjoy good comedy. And for the younger comedians that you talked about, they're always welcome. Yes. You know, I'm always happy to have, as I mentioned earlier, I'm always happy to have younger comedians around. We are all colleagues, and we are happy to do things together. So I mean, it's my choice.
Yeah. How many minutes are you performing?
How many minutes am I performing? Yes. And another thing is that there is no timetable. There is nobody has written the constitution that a comedian must use 1 hour for a special. Yes. It's not written anywhere. It's my choice to use whatever number of minutes I can choose to use. Can be 1, can be 2, can be less. Whichever. The most important thing is that people have a good time.
Yeah, a good time. Yes. Do you have other comedians that are going to be?
Oh, absolutely. I'm going to have other comedians on stage. The ones that I can mention for now. Yes. I mean, Forever is going to be performing. SLK is going to be performing. ATM is going to be performing, and so many others. Oh yeah, so many others. You know, I mean, I'm reaching out to them in bits. Yeah. But then, yeah.
Yes, but
it's also going to have a blend of music. It's not just going to be comedy back to back all the way. It's going to have some live music feel.
I'll be the coming.
It's going to have some live music feel, and I'm a lover of live music, especially sweet ones. And so we'll have a bit of that.
Yeah. What are you most grateful for?
Everything. To be very honest.
No, I understand. When you say everything, I understand. But like, do you project and see yourself where you are? And I mean, of course, there's still more. You're still going far. But like, where you are now, in like 5 years, did you project and see that? Because you're making tremendous progress. It's admirable. It's lovely. I know people that are always stalking you to know what you're doing and all of that stuff. And if there's some them, they are just dreaming, if I could only be like this guy. And I'm like, this person you're saying, if I could only be like this guy, he's aiming far. You understand? So, what are you grateful for? I know you have beautiful daughters, like my younger sisters, and I'm happy that you gave me, your wife, amazing woman, doing amazing things in fashion. Like you, to every week she's busy, but like I want something specific. Everything.
What am I grateful for? I'm grateful.
Your PhD.
Well, see, that's why I'm trying to look for one word to capture everything, because to be sincere, I'm just a product of God's grace. Yes. I mean, everything you mentioned and more. I'm grateful for so many things, for the gift of people. I'm grateful for the capacity for that those around me are doing very well.
Yes.
I'm grateful. I mean, you started from
your pal. I was about to end with that.
Today, I'm proud of your growth and progress.
Yes.
Yes. I'm grateful. So there are so many things to be grateful for. So many things. And honestly, I'm very grateful. If I should start listing them, we will not live here today. But trust me, for everything, I'm grateful to God. There are some days I just think, and I can't help but just say, thank you, God. Thank you, Jesus. God is the center of everything for me. God is the center of everything for me.
Do you feel pressured at some point?
Yeah, sometimes I feel some pressure.
Overwhelmed.
Yeah, it can be overwhelming sometimes, working, trying to meet up with everything can be overwhelming. But God comes through for me all the time.
Yes, and I've seen it many times. I remember that from the little I know. I remember you said you were just walking in a store one day, and then you just shouted no, and then you explained it after the event when you went very well and said to me and a couple of other people that were there, you said the Holy Spirit asked you, have I ever failed you? And you said, you shouted it, you exclaimed it, and you said no. So I've always seen that consistency, that gratitude to God, and how far God has brought you, and I'm very grateful to be associated with you. I tell people every day that I'm always associated to be associated with you, because you're a good example. There's some things that I cannot do. I know that if he sees me doing these things, he will call me to order. I remember when I started, it was in your parlor too. So we're also grateful for you. People around you are grateful for you. Yes, just for being you is enough. Being a good man, raising your kids, sending them to good schools, being present for them, and your wife as well, doing amazing stuff with her for her. And she also does for you before she dragged me. Yes, and we appreciate you. We honor you. We love you. Thank you for even taking out time to be here too, because this was on short notice.
I'm very proud of you. I'm proud of your growth and development. I'm proud of the great things you're doing.
Yes,
and all I will just tell you to do is to remain humble, remain level-headed, remain very level-headed, and all the best.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir, for permitting me to and giving us 50 minutes of politics, which we might never see again. Thank you so much, sir.
No, I will still talk about politics when it is time. Okay. But for now, I was just trying to be on the surface throughout, which is my choice for now. Yeah. I mean, Nigerians should learn to understand the fact that people have choices. People have the liberty to make choices. People have the liberty to vote for whoever they choose to vote for, and they should not be castigated for that. Just let it be okay to leave people to make choices. Yes. Some people can say, I'm not leaving my house on the election day. It's their choice. You understand?
Let them be.
And just let them be.
Yes.
Yes. Don't say you are the problem. You are part of the... Yes, they could be part of the... I mean, it's their choice to be a part of the problem. Yes. If there is a problem in the first place.
Thank you so much, sir. Wow, that was an amazing conversation. It's always an amazing conversation on Sound Minds Podcast. Sound Mind Podcast is out to bring out amazing minds, amazing people, and to stop Olodo uprising as much as we can. Our duty is to eradicate Olodo uprising in the society, and that's why Sound Minds Podcast exists. In case you want to see other amazing minds, which we might be missing, you can leave a comment, and we would definitely bring your favorite guest on our show. It's been an amazing episode. My name is Tolu Afilaka. Thank you to my crew. Thank you to everyone behind the cameras, from Alex, and to our partners, Cafe One. If you want us to record an episode at Cafe One Studios, please send a DM to us at Cafe One Studios. We have studios across Nigeria, in Kofarua, in Delta, in Oshogbo, in Lasu, in Victoria Island, in Okwebi. We have in Ikeja. We have in Shongotedu. We have in Lekki. We have everywhere. This helps creators to just take up the step from their bedroom into our studios at little or no cost. See you guys. My name is Tolu Afilaka, and I have a sound mind.